So you identify as a mom, a student, a realtor, all of the above.
You are not what you do. You are not your job. You are not role you play as a mom, father, friend. You're not that. Whatever you can reduce and you continue to be that, conscious of your existence, you're not that. Don't make your entire personality the job. We live our lives as if our minds are just the front door and it's wide open. If you leave your house wide, the front door wide, you're going to have skunks in there soon.
I think mom guilt gets overused, but this need to like do it all and to be the PTA and do all of this. And oh, if I don't do this, what happens? And the reality is it does take a village. There's a reason that expression is.
And once in a while we pick them up and beat ourselves with it too and put it right back on that.
Break that down.
Anything that you overdo.
Did having that background with Disney help at all, like with real estate?
It's like a whole week of courses on how to take care of people.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Controlling Your Chaos, where we help moms, entrepreneurs, and all people learn to balance the chaos they have in their life. This week, I am so excited to have my friend Tatiana on this show. Take it away. Give us a quick intro on yourself.
Hi, Courtney. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here too. It's so good to catch up with people we are constantly working with, but we don't get to see it all the time.
For
Right?
sure. I feel like we text multiple times and talk and all of that.
Right.
And you brought your fun shoes. So I'm
Yeah,
super excited.
yeah, no. So I've been in real estate for a little bit over 10 years now.
Time flies.
I know. I was prior military, and then before that, I was Disney cast member, and I mean, we wear so many hats right throughout our life. So I can't even count how many jobs I've had. So I think you grow out of all of that. So yeah, so those are the hats I wear. But
And mom hat. You have a
mom,
beautiful
yeah.
daughter.
So I have an 18-year-old. She's going to be 19 very soon.
I love
Going
it.
to college. I'm going to college with her.
Oh my gosh, I love that. How
Yeah,
fun.
so we're both full-time students. Yeah. So I'm all of that.
So you identify as a mom, a student, a realtor, all of the above, right?
Yeah, a yogi, pet mom.
Yes. Fur babies.
Yeah. So
So I want to jump in and talk first about Disney, because talk about learning customer service. I know I love working with you because you're like me. You want them to have this great customer service experience and walk them through a stressful time. So did having that background with Disney help at all, like with real estate?
my gosh, so that was formative, honestly. I was in my late teens, early 20s when I started working at Disney, and they really brainwash you into the customer experience.
Yeah.
So, and it's not even the customer experience, the guest experience. So you go to Disney University, which it's like a whole week of courses on how to take care of people.
Yeah.
And they really drill down that you're caring for people. You don't look at people as dollar signs. You don't, they're not a wallet. They come with their expectations, and we have to provide to them an experience. It's not just a service.
Right.
That eventually translated into every aspect of my life, like from the military, I was in the medical field, to real estate. It's all about that person's experience, and you're just a conduit
Yeah.
to get to their goal, whatever their goal is. So
Yeah. Well, and I've been lately, like with the kids, I'm like, we're not just getting gifts, we're getting experiences. So to your point, and I mean, for a lot of people, Disney is very expensive at like something that they do only once or twice in their lifetime. So their experience and their impact is so important. And to me, that absolutely transcends to real estate. Like
yeah.
most people don't buy and sell houses. And I tell people sometimes, I'm like, I've been at this 26 years. So I'm sorry if I use lingo or terms, or like what's a crisis to me or to you is not necessarily just because I'm like, I've been on the other side of this. Like it's the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. So I definitely appreciate this is the experience portion of it. So you transitioned to the military, which I know you had a great career in the military. Tell me why you were like, you know what, it's time to do something different.
So from Disney to the military, I was working full time at Disney. I had another full time job at Target, and I was going full time school. So I mean,
Sleep was optional.
So well, actually I did sleep 3 hours every other day.
Oh, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So it was not sustainable,
Yeah.
right?
No.
And then one day at Disney, somebody walked up to me, and they were retiring from the military. And they said, "Look, you can join the military. They'll pay for your school, your food, your house. They train you for a job, and you just work one job."
Yeah.
I signed up the next day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I had no idea what I was signing up for. I was like, anything is better than what I'm going through right now.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I joined the military not knowing it was open general, had no idea what field they were gonna put me in. Turned out to be the medical field. I had a wonderful experience, mostly, as I'm sure everybody that the people that you work with,
Yeah.
wonderful people. And then once I was out of the military, it was time to do something else.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, I'm done with medical. My daughter, as you know, had a lot of medical issues. So I was just up to here with
Yeah.
dealing with doctors. So I was like, I cannot continue to make that my career.
Yeah.
And eventually somebody came up to me and they said, "You like contracts, you like rules, and have you looked into real estate?"
Yeah.
So again, the next day I went and signed up for classes at Sabor.
Yeah. Wow.
And when I was there taking the classes, I mean, it was just a natural fit. I was trying to figure it out where I was going to hang my license.
Right.
And I asked about luxury agents, because we always drawn into that, right?
Yes, for
Thinking
sure. We all want the fast
we are,
cars and
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
showing the Malibu penthouse, yes.
It's that misconception. And one of the names that came up was Kim Howe, your
Yeah.
mom. So it was the only brokerage I went to. At the moment I walked in,
Oh,
it
wow.
was
I didn't realize that.
that it was I was at home. It was also a natural fit. I'm like, okay, this is it. So I guess I'm proof that the first one gets the
That's too funny.
right.
That's awesome. I didn't realize the connection that from the luxury side of it. Obviously, mom does, just that market and loves it. And I do the
Yeah.
polar opposite, right? The rental side. And I
Yeah.
love that. And people always tease, they're like, yeah, they're so much alike and so different. And so, luxury is definitely a lane and she's dominated in that lane for many, many
Yeah,
years.
but again, I think that we have a concept, the concept that we have of whatever profession you're looking into, it's so different from reality, right?
Yeah.
From when the rubber meets the road. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is, and just with you and your mom, like there's that personality thing that just brings people in. And it's funny because all the years that I worked with your mom, if we met 10
Mhm.
times, probably too many. You know?
Yeah.
But it's like every time that we were together, it was just like a natural flow of conversation. There was so yeah, so it's just the same thing with you. Like we may not interact all the
Yeah.
time, but every time we see each other, it's like
Very natural. Yeah.
natural,
Yeah.
right?
So tell me more about obviously one of the, people we try and focus in and help along this way in this podcast are moms because it is a constant juggling of different seasons and things like that. So tell me how, being in real estate and having a kiddo, how you found time to do both simultaneously and you felt present both at the same time. And on top of that, obviously a child with, medical complexities adds another layer along the way.
Right. So it takes a village. You cannot do this by yourself. I've been very blessed with wonderful, wonderful people in my life. My ex-husband, Leah's dad,
Hmm.
wonderful, supportive parent. We always had a very friendly relationship as wonderful parental relationship. And then my late husband, amazing support in everything that I ever did. So having those two, we were three parents. We're always on a group chat. There was nothing that Leah could do that did not, she couldn't play both parents
Yeah.
because
There was no good cop, bad cop. Everybody was on the same page.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So of course we have all different styles of parenting, but it definitely takes a village, especially when you have a kid with complicated situations.
Yeah.
I mean, just having a kid, period.
For sure.
And then in real estate, of course, wonderful supportive staff. Like I had my transaction coordinator,
Yeah.
Vanessa. She's always amazing. And then with the brokerage, the moment you get your license, it's when you realize you don't know anything. Right? Or as Dave Taylor would say, you know enough to get yourself in trouble, in a lot of trouble.
Yes, yes. Well,
So
and there's textbook real estate. I jokingly always say there's like textbook real estate and then there's street real estate, right? Like, how are you actually going to get this transaction to the closing when you're dealing with people and high emotions?
right,
I know we talk about all the time, like people are under such stress when they're moving. And so you don't always see people when they're at their best. And you see emotions directed at things that are probably not related to whether or not, the fridge is conveying with the transaction or not. So
right.
definitely. I love the concept of a village because I think as moms, we all feel this just I think mom guilt gets overused, but this need to like do it all and to be the and do all this and oh if I don't do this what happens and the reality is it does take a village. There's a reason that expression is
Right. It's so used because it does. And you cannot be everything to anybody.
right.
It's impossible. Like in your relationship with your partner, for your child, there is no way you can fulfill every single need of that person.
Yeah.
It's not realistic and it's not healthy for you and for that person. Like for with Leah, for example, I was always the emotional support when high level problems.
Yeah.
Okay, go to mom.
Yeah.
Now, Adrian, my late husband, was always the fun, the kid person, the one that went to all the kid plays and the
Yeah.
stuff that I have no stomach for. No.
Yes.
Or and then her dad was always the what do you need to know, like the encyclopedia, the talk to dad, and it's dad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're always yeah, the medical, like when she wanted a question answered, dad was there. So
Yeah.
we're different hats in fulfilling that role of a parent. So
No, and I love that. I mean, I know I'm in a great place with Gabby's dad now, and it took some time to get there, but we now absolutely, Gabby was in the ER the other day and just coming together and being present, even when personalities may not still align, like everybody was there for the right purpose and the right goal. And I think that's a testament to who you are, that you had this amazing dynamic. You had a lot of tragedy along the way where it's like it was easy to get flustered or for people not to all be on the same page, but just really coming together, rallying around the greater purpose, which is so beautiful for everybody involved when you can take a step back and realize like life's short. Stop
right.
fighting. Like,
And relationships don't work out, right? But you still have children together, so you
yeah,
need to make it work. Personalities don't need to align. The way you raise your kid, it's going to be different. I mean, even if you guys work together, it's
yeah,
going to be different. So yeah.
no, for
And
sure.
and nothing lasts forever. So that moment that we have,
Yeah. The
whether it's
good times
good or
and the bad
bad,
times don't last
exactly.
forever, for sure.
Exactly.
This too shall pass.
Right.
So, talk to me about going to school with your daughter because I love that. I didn't step foot in a college campus, and there are many moments where I'm like, oh, I should go back to school. I have a passion for law, and I think about how overwhelming it is. But tell me, you're like, I'm just going to go do this.
Yeah, so it was totally by accident. So I found out that so when we were signing Leah up for school,
Mhm.
we're looking into educational benefits. Me being prior service.
She has what the Hazelwood Act, right?
No,
Oh,
she's using Chapter 35
gotcha.
from, and she's actually found out. Okay, we're using from my benefits
Gotcha.
because I'm a disabled vet, and then I found out that I had Adrian's Chapter 35 because of he passed away due to a service related illness.
Gotcha.
I also found out that I still have my GI Bill, which I
Wow.
thought I had transferred to her, but I guess I never did. So,
That's
so
awesome.
now,
Yeah.
like now, I have 6 years of school at
Wow.
least because the Hazelwood, I could still use the Hazelwood, so I even have more than that
Yeah.
that needed to be used. I'm like, okay, might as well. I always enjoy law. I like, why not?
Yeah.
So, and it would be a good help to help Leah transition into college.
Mhm.
So we both sign up, going to fresh. I mean, it had been over 20 years since I've been to school,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful experience to go
Is
as an adult. I can safely say I have overcome not being a good student. Like
That's true, yeah.
high school was a disaster for me.
Me too, yeah, I'm the reason why there's a bottom half of the class. Yeah, no, absolutely, like, I was already working and debating, and I'm like, I have to, like, be present at school to go on the debate team, and I have to pass, and that was about all I needed at the end
I
of the day.
no, it was I was yeah, I was I had a cleaning business in high school. I was selling used cars. I had a job. So,
Yeah.
like, I was not into school. I skipped a lot of class. So I can say that I have overcome that.
Yeah.
I love going to school. I'm in
Are
the
you well
honors.
received? Like, do you ever walk in and be like, I could be your mom?
Uh, People don't even care. Like,
That's
these
awesome.
kids, they're all on their screens
Yeah.
anyways. Like, they don't care. The best thing is, like, it's one place I can go wearing, like, pajamas, nobody cares. I don't have to wear makeup, nobody cares. Like,
Yeah.
it's so freeing.
That's
I just
awesome.
get my work done. I'm honor student, and, like, so yeah,
So have you finished your first full year or are you
so I finished my first year.
awesome.
So, yeah.
What's the plan?
So, finish my 2-year degree next year,
Mhm.
and then transfer to UTSA, and then look into where I'll get my law degree at. So,
Oh my gosh, I love that for
yeah.
you. That's so
So,
awesome. Well, one valuable lesson I can share with the group is if my partner, as you know, is an attorney, and literally, like when he was looking before he decided to go on his own, he was interviewing around. And if you're going to stay in San Antonio, apparently St. Mary's is the place to go
yep,
because
yep,
they hire local. The alum
yep.
is alive and well here. So,
Yeah, so St. Mary's, I've been talking to them for a while now,
yeah,
so since my first semester there, yeah.
that's
But,
awesome.
yeah,
Well, good. Well,
but who knows, because I'm looking into state trusts. I
yeah,
don't want to go into litigation. No, it's not my. So there are other options, maybe in California, who knows.
yeah.
I mean, I'm going with the flow and seeing,
Yeah.
where things take me. So.
So tell me one of the things that I've watched in transit like through our friendship, you've transitioned and you are just so calm. You were always like a smile on your face all the time, but now I see this just very relaxed, calm demeanor. Talk to me about how you got there with I mean,
Yeah. So I came to realize that we cannot control our outside world.
mhm,
It's impossible,
yeah,
right? Life is going to life, people are going to people.
yeah,
We have control over our inner environment.
right,
Now, the problem is 99% of us have no clue how to do that. Like, as a kid, you learn not to drink from a pond water
right,
because you're going to get sick, but you never learn to control what goes into your head.
yeah,
Like, or basically, we live our lives as if our minds are just the front door and it's wide open. If you leave your house wide, the front door wide open, you're going to have skunks in there soon, snakes,
yeah,
homeless people.
yeah,
I mean, you're going to have all. It's going to be a mess, and that's how our minds are. So
yeah,
there are different aspects to that. And how do we control our environment? We let all sorts of people into our minds. TV, music, there's no control. So, in order for us to be able to control our inner environment, we have to calm our minds. And I found for me, it was through meditation. Now, it's hard.
yes, it is. I
It's
have
very
tried.
hard because of all our lives.
Yeah.
We live with a neurotic roommate in our mind, in our brains
That
that
lives rent
doesn't
free too.
it doesn't shut up, right?
yes, for sure.
So it's a struggle, but what in life isn't a struggle? We are born in struggle.
Yeah,
Everything that's worth doing is a struggle.
yeah,
So once and even to sit in meditation, if I get just 5 minutes of peace, that you can, you mind through whatever amount of time, it's worth, you can carry that through your day. Another aspect of that is the people you surround yourself with. We all have to deal with consequences of our actions,
mhm,
right? Good and bad.
for sure.
But we are so quick to let people into our lives with, we call it baggage,
Yeah.
but it's really like trash bags, with the consequences of their life. So we tend to partner, with people just because we like them, or because without thinking of how is that going to mess with my peace, my inner environment. How is their karma going to affect mine?
Yeah. No,
No.
absolutely.
And so if we don't control our inner life, you're not going to be able to control everything else. There's just no way. So,
Yeah. No, it creates the chaos. And
eh,
I tell people all the time, like, your lack of planning doesn't become my crisis, but it is hard, especially I think in real estate in this down market, so to speak. And, during COVID, it was hard on the buyers emotionally when they just kept getting rejected. And now with sellers, we were talking before we came on air, like people are writing six-figure checks to get out of houses because they bought at the peak, weren't staying, and, added things on that didn't make sense to the house. And it's tough not to feel compassion, right? As the agent and the person who you're a human being and you're like, oh, I hate that for them. But you also have to be like, well, this is how we landed here. And in order to do my job is to facilitate and not sit and sulk in the choices. The choices were made, decisions were. Now we got to just move on and get back on track and figure out the best way to do that. I mean, we've talked extensively about clients that it's like they're upside down, even on their mortgage. And it's like, well, do you take a long bath or a quick shower? Right.
Right.
And I love that you're the professional that's like, what makes sense based on this? We can't beat up the past decisions. We just have to make, based on what we have now, good decisions for the future. And so I think that's very challenging to
So,
navigate.
as people that care, we care deeply. We do. We care about our clients. We care about our kids. The people, as people that care deeply, we end up taking ownership of things that do not belong to us.
For sure.
Our clients' anxiety doesn't belong to us. Their choices do not belong to us.
Yeah.
The other agents' needs don't belong to us. Even the fruits of our actions don't belong to us. Because we're only stewards. Like when you get that commission check, it's already assigned to different things, right? And it doesn't matter how much you accumulate. The moment, the last breath you take, that all of that, it's somebody else's. So it moves on.
Yeah, nobody's pulling a U-Haul in their hearse.
Right. The only thing that it belongs to us is our effort.
Yeah.
It's our effort. We make the effort. We do the right thing by people, even if we make mistakes, and we do make mistakes. And that's all we have to worry about. Put in the effort, let the consequences be whatever they may be. And that I had to learn because I was getting sick. I was working so much, losing hair,
Yeah.
gaining weight, having palpitations, like all kinds of medical issues because of taking ownership of other people's problems.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, one of the things we always try and get out of this podcast is teaching other moms, entrepreneurs, things that have worked for us as I like to seasoned people at it, not older people at it. And so what if you could tell yourself, one thing on the business front or one thing on the mom front that you wish you knew 20 years ago, what would it be?
So I think that you are not your mistakes.
I love that.
You're not your failures.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, all of us will do many of those, right?
Yes.
As a mom, a lot of us that we tend to worship our mistakes, and once in a while we pick them up and beat ourselves with it too, and put it right back on that.
Yeah.
And
On that shelf to grab next
yep,
time
yep,
that we've had
okay,
that
next
day.
time,
Yeah.
and so we need to not so, and again, goes back to the people around you. Surround with people they're not constantly reminding you of of your shortcomings or the things that you've made in the past. You're not. You need to move on. And then another big thing too, and I would say I think that has been the biggest lesson is that overindulgence leads to discomfort.
Break that down.
Anything that you overdo, having possessions. For example, I was in India. That was that moment that mindset shifted. I was walking by the Ganges and I had only my backpack that was empty. I was going to town to buy gifts for people. So I was enjoying the chants, the smells, the cow by the river.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I went to town. I bought a lot of stuff there, filled up my backpack with, and I had to do the same walk back as a 30-minute walk back to my hotel. The most uncomfortable walk of my life. It was heavy. I was worried about if somebody was going to rob me.
Yeah.
I couldn't pay attention to anything. My feet were hurting. My hands were hurting.
Yeah.
Same walk, completely different experience because my entire mindset, my entire consciousness were on things.
I love that. That is like I can literally take myself visually to you walk, and I've never been there, but I can take myself and see the difference of a walk when you have
Right.
nothing. I mean, there was John, was it John? No, Max Lucado has a book called Traveling Light and talks about putting down the baggage of your life and your symbolism of the backpack full of stuff. And it
Right.
was other people's stuff, right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
not
It
even,
was not even for me. It
yeah,
was for everybody else. And it's like, so when I got back, I was like, okay, I need to simplify my life And then after I simplify, I'll simplify more.
Yeah.
Because from a business point of view, right? If you maintain your cost, your living baseline
Yeah.
as low as possible, you can switch things so much easier. You can change lanes
Yeah.
when things are great. Great, you save more. When things are hard, you're already in that baseline that you're not going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's just from what I mean, and that's in every aspect of life. When you eat too much, it's an automatic, like you are uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Anything you overindulge in
Yeah.
leads to discomfort.
Even in work too, when you overindulge and you work nonstop, or
Right.
I've been guilty in seasons where life stuff and I throw myself into work, and I don't make life better by doing that. I literally, because I now
Mhm.
neglected other things and buried my head in the sand. Next thing you know, what was a small issue is now on fire because you've overindulged in this
Yeah.
lane. And
E-
so,
Even sleep. When you sleep too much,
mhm.
you don't wake up great.
No,
Like
yeah,
there's so that is extremely important for people to like. I wish I had learned that lesson a long time ago.
yeah,
I mean, and it takes time. It takes time to shed because you have mortgages, you have car payments, you
yeah,
have responsibilities, but you really added on. And if you look back into your life when you were younger and life was much simpler, you're like, I just added
stuff.
stuff.
Mhm.
And then people die and nobody wants their stuff. They cannot wait to sell,
Yeah,
get rid of, turn it into cash. Like
yeah.
people fight over it's
No, and we always see the older people that we, lovingly say are hoarders. I mean, I remember emptying my grandmother's house and I was like, "What is all this stuff?"
fine.
And it was stuff. And I mean, at one point we ended up getting a dumpster because rats had got, like, it just was stuff that it's like those weren't memories, there weren't anything. And so I will take that nugget with me the rest of the day, because and hopefully from now on, because it is so true. Like, just drinking there's nothing
Anything.
that you don't overdo that has the negative consequence to
Mhm.
it. And I think a lot of times in life, we just make the choices not even realizing until we are like, oh, this doesn't feel good
Yeah.
anymore.
And it
And
goes back to your inner environment too. Most of us we're not in control of our lives. We think we are,
yeah,
but our habits control us, or likes and dislikes control us.
yeah,
And the next thing you know, you're just going through life as an automaton. Like you're like, why am I not happy?
yeah.
Because you're just behaving based on your habits.
Yeah.
And most of us have really bad habits.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I remember like, oh, I'll be happy when I remember being in my 20s and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be happy and feel like I made it when I have a saltwater fish tank. And I got that thing, and that was the biggest pain in the arse. Like, it needed like, it was just a full-time job. And I remember walking home one day after a long day of work, and a $300 fish had jumped the tank and was on
Oh
the
my
floor.
god.
And I was like, what just happened here? Like, I wanted to cry. And I was like, I worked so hard for this fish, and like, he jumped out of the tank. And so I'm like, ugh. So no, I definitely think that was such a great piece of advice to give people, because we just keep piling on. You see people at the airport trying to take the 17 bags on the European vacation. You're like,
Yeah.
you're not even gonna enjoy getting, like, you're gonna be so tired by the time you get there. So, well, I like to go through everybody with the podcast, like, tell me what you're reading right now,
So I'm a lot of
besides college school books.
yeah, I don't wanna no, so right now I'm reading the lessons on self-realization. So it's a meditation path.
Very cool. Love it. Love it. What's your current summer drink?
Oh my god. Welcome to middle age, right? So, I am drinking a lot of water with electrolytes.
Yes. I have a new favorite electrolyte, Flay City, and it's got like ginger and turmeric. And then I struggle with those ginger turmeric shots, so I like dump it in the Yeti and I drink them together, so it kind of like takes the taste away. And so it's so funny when I've been asking the question. Some people are like, "Oh, wine," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've reached that point
I
where
stopped drinking.
I wake up and like flashes, everything else." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I can only drink at lunchtime, and that doesn't really work for my work schedule." So
Well, and when you go from the first glass of wine, you feel fine, to the second migraine, Like, okay, what happened?
Yeah, no, what happened along the way, and I also find that I lose the ability to control, and I control wanna control, right? And so, I have that second drink, and then I'm eating, like, cheese and crackers and all this other stuff. I'm like, "Well, there went the diet, and then why did I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning?" You know,
Right.
like, everything goes out the
Yeah.
window when you do that, and so it is definitely a tough transition, but is definitely well worth it. So, well, I know we've kinda given you have just some great nuggets with things that absolutely people you've walked a super cool journey from being at Disney and the military and in real estate and then being a mom. If there's one thing you could leave our audience with, what would that be?
You are not what you do. You are not your job. You are not a role you play as a mom, father, friend. You're not that. Whatever you can reduce and you continue to be that, conscious of your existence, you're not that. Don't make your entire personality the job,
Yeah.
because the job or the role you play, because those things can be taken away from you like this. So
Yeah.
anchor yourself in things that in the unchangeable, not in things that change. So,
Yeah. No, I love that. Well, thank you so much for being on. Friends, you can find her on social media. Are you still teaching? I know there for a while you were doing some meditate.
no, I
No,
am
you're
not.
like,
I am not.
you're like, I'm out of that lane.
No,
She was helping realtors, which is like helping cats try and
yeah.
be more calm.
I'm
So
no, I'm happy to help people individually,
yeah.
but I'm not like
You're like, "No, not out my lane full time now," but you're an amazing agent, and so if you wanna find Tatiana online, we'll share her social information at the bottom, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Controlling Your Chaos. Bye, everybody.